We have AKA Goblin. He claims he can talk like a robot, and he has
Yes.
Hello, how are you?
That's the best I can do. Today I'm going to be talking about BBS's The Internet of Yesteryear. Hey, all right. So maybe some BBS users. How many of you have ever dialed into anything, the internet? Okay, put your hand down if you're under the age of like 25. So these are people... Yeah, basically you have to be really old to know what this is. Basically, this computer's so old it has a turbo button where you actually have to hit it to go. BBSs are when you weren't. It was before the internet. You didn't dial into the internet. You dialed into someone else's computer, and you could root around kind of on their computer, see what they had going on there. This is the guy who invented bulletin board systems in 1979. He got the idea of calling up some friends on his computer when he was stuck in a snowstorm. So he basically invented the first BBS. He lived in Finland? Oh, I thought it was Chicago. Right. So this is the kind of speeds you were working with. Today you can download an MP3 in about 3 seconds. Back then it took almost 5 hours, and they didn't have MP3s because they took way too long to download. This was some of the other stuff you could do on a BBS. You could play what was called door games. Basically, the BBS would give you a doorway to other programs that were on the computer, and you could play these online multiplayer games. This is my favorite one, Legend of the Red Dragon. This was basically like the first massive multiplayer online RPG. This was like before World of Warcraft or whatever you kids are playing now. This is the real thing right here. All text-based. You're like go into the forest and kill stuff. Another thing you could do is message boards. FidoNet was actually a really interesting precursor or sort of a different alternate to the internet, where computers, you'd put messages on one bulletin board, and then at the end of the day, it would dial up to a different bulletin board, and they'd synchronize, and there was tens of thousands of them. These are some of the files you could get off bulletin boards. These were big. Jolly Roger's handbook was all about how to make bombs and hack phones and stuff. Actually, the most normal kids get in trouble for looking at pornography, like their parents catch them doing that. I got caught with Jolly Roger's handbook, and that's the most trouble I've ever been in, because it was like how to call the president's secret hotline and all this kind of stuff. This is how I got my first email. I'll probably just skip that story. Oh. In the background here is what the people who ran the bulletin boards, they were called sysops. And this is what they looked like in the background, and this is what they felt like in the middle, because they were kind of like the gods of their own domain. It was pretty awesome to be a sysop. So Goblin, that's me. I was the sysop of the Underworld BBS back in 1992 to 1994. Those were my brothers Argos and Gus, and then our co-sysop Hellbender. This is roughly what the bulletin board looked like when you logged in. You'd have little text to get around and do all the different things that you could do. So pretty awesome graphics, as you can tell. These are just little blocks of text. So one day I had the chance to go meet up with everyone who was using my bulletin board system. And my mom, I was leaving. I was like 12 years old. My mom's like, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to meet up with Hellbender." And she's like, "That's not going to happen." Big Boys BBS was a big bulletin board system in Denver. They maintained a list of all the other bulletin board systems and all their phone numbers. So you'd log in there, you'd download the list, and then you just start calling all of these bulletin boards. And it was pretty awesome. This was my first hack. If you typed this into a specific type of software, then the person on the other side would see their username. So I would post messages like %UN, password is %PW%, and then they would see their username and password and get really pissed off that I just revealed it to everybody. And if you typed %UN as your own username, then that's what would happen. The board would crash, and it would just repeat that over and over and crash their computer. This is a bulletin board that is still running today. It's called Empire of the Dragon. You can actually telnet into it. So you can use your computer, you can log in, you can play Legend of the Red Dragon against me. I'll probably kill you. You can see all the old bulletin boards that used to run on textfiles.com. These are some software packages you can use to access Empire of the Dragon. So if you have an Android phone, download Roiding BBS Terminal right now after this next talk. log into telnet.eotd.com, and then you can you can see what it was like and play all those games and stuff. It's pretty awesome. You can find me on Legend of the Red Dragon in the inn. I'll be flirting with the girl in there. That was the closest I ever got to a girlfriend, was flirting with the waitress, Violet. And that is all. Thank you.